Welcome to Joyce Pensato's exhibition here at Petzel Gallery on West 18th Street. What you see here really is a relatively simple premise, eyeballs or eyes, but when you look at one painting you can't even see or tell whether it's a representational figurative painting or if it's an abstract painting. She was really trained as an abstract expressionist painter, so she was looking at a lot of painters from the 1950s. I think you see in the nature of her paintings Franz Kline and other abstract expressionist painters having influenced her, but then she runs it through an iconography that is much more driven by pop culture. So she kind of combines two distinct ways of looking at the world. When you look at these paint splashes, they are deliberate. They're not just accidents, or she knew when the accident needed to be erased. So she always was very kind of clear about when the painting was finished or not finished. And what you see here as kind of an action type of driven paint process, it wasn't really action. I mean, there was action in it, but there was a lot of control in the conception of these paintings. She works a lot with cloth where she rubs surfaces clean again. She sometimes glues newspaper on the canvas and takes the newspaper off so there's only kind of some residue left. So these are not accidents, these are very deliberate decisions that she makes while she conceives a painting. For about 30 years she was in Brooklyn in one particular studio that was an amazing former dance hall. When she lost the lease, we helped her to kind of move all the remnants of that studio into a new studio. And what you see here on the floor, these are literally parts that we cut out and saved everything. But what we try to do is, for this particular show, to give people the idea, like at least some kind of a hint of how she created her oeuvre. The Uptown show, we do a very classic, very beautiful hanging of drawings that she did in 1976. And we have never been able to exhibit those because she never showed them to anyone. So this is a premiere for a lot of people to see these drawings uptown. These cartoon characters, they constitute a certain kind of foil for her to work with. So if you have an image that seems familiar to you and maybe even to an audience, that's a foil for you to get started. Whether she particularly liked Mickey Mouse or any of these characters, I can't tell. But she started making her paintings with a familiar shape and then screwed it up. Joyce's legacy is hard to describe because she was such a forceful human being. I mean, she comes into my gallery, it didn't matter what we had up on the wall, she was always coming in and she said, "This is fucking amazing, this is fantastic." And I do believe that the courage that you see in these paintings is part of a legacy that will continue. The confidence that she has putting enamel paint on linen and on canvases, I think will speak for itself. I felt to some extent she's looking at us in this room, and that's maybe a bit like a metaphorically speaking, but I do feel like there's a certain presence that these paintings have in light of the fact that she's no longer with us.
What do you want people to think about when they look at your art for the rest of history?
I want them to have joy in their life and feel spiritually upbeat, but mostly have a great time, be uplifted, and have joy what you're doing, a joy of life.